Happy birthday, Diablo II! Where were you on 9/11? I was playing Diablo II Lord of Destruction, and the chat salivated with lurid speculation about how many people had died. It was gross. It's now been over 2 decades since its release, and Diablo II, perhaps modded with Path of Diablo for multiplayer, or Eastern Sun, maybe Median XL for single player, likely still represents the best iteration of this type of game. The archetypal action role-playing game with a masterfully executed demon-y dungeon crawling and level grinding loot bonanza, with the aesthetics and soundtrack worthy of it. Diablo III looked sharper and is still fun, but by loosening constraints it lost focus in its loot and specificity in its skill trees, making the whole feel less rewarding. The tone-deaf Diablo Immortal reveal and the tough Hearthstone esports moment temporarily stole my interest in Diablo IV, so its progress has rather snuck up on me. The loot in Diablo IV appears to be informed by Diablo II, which is great. Diablo II struck a difficult and illusory balance between its character builds and loot tables that is as yet unsurpassed. Whisperings of a Diablo II remake would be nice if true, though they didn't do much for Warcraft 3, pillaging the rights to custom maps out of a petty jealous rage against Defense of the Ancients. Diablo IV is reinstating rune words, basically a means of using ingredients, runes, to powerfully enchant items. The same item categories are returning: normal, magic, rare, legendary instead of unique, and set items, and are adding mythic items, so powerful that you can only use one at a time. That sounds nice. No word on ethereal items yet. Hopefully they'll make a comeback too. Skill trees look to be on par for the franchise, but given a makeover to mimic the blood pooling shown in Diablo IV's announcement cinematic, which was quite fun, much jollier than refreshing Twitter or watching the news. The character classes so far are the classic tough barbarian, the physically vulnerable but otherwise super powerful sorceress, and the shape-shifting druid, who leans tank-like, especially in animal form. They'll need a ranged character and another spellcaster to complete the roster. Artwork for the Amazon has been floating around, so it could be that, and if they keep drawing from Diablo II classes, it'll probably be either a necromancer or assassin that finishes the lineup. The biggest gameplay change coming to Diablo IV? It's an always-online, massively multiplayer open world. This allows players to explore the 5 distinct regions in any order, a bit like if earlier Diablo games had all waypoints unlocked by default, but much bigger. This will lubricate multiplayer co-op and PvP somewhat, and means that we will see other players milling around, except within separately instanced dungeons. These dungeons will have special dungeon objectives, and be designed around 3 pillars of variety, strategic depth, and player agency. Given the increased size of the world, characters will have mounts. This could mean that standard walking and running speeds will feel slow. In Diablo II, characters could zip around at 200% speed or teleport infinitely around the battlefields. Possibly not the case here. Although solo mode will still be available, Blizzard has said that you need to be in a party with other players in order to beat world bosses, which obviously pressures players into multiplayer partying. This feels a bit needless. I would expect a single player to be able to grind hard in order to defeat one solo, rather than need a party to trigger a boss event. There will be trading, clans, seasons, and hardcore mode, all for motivating multiplayer. There's enough here, I can kind of feel it. I am summoning enthusiasm, mainly because Blizzard is one of the few remaining companies that I adored as a child that can still make good games. Fingers crossed that their creative vigor won't be curtailed by committee. Diablo IV is likely to be around 4 to 6 years away though, so perhaps don't get too excited too soon. Thanks for watching, please do like and subscribe and follow me at Levethian7 on Twitter. You're one of the 30% of viewers who watched to the end of things, a rare breed. Well done, a mark of endurance, stamina. Or maybe you're just doing something with your hand and you can't click away, in which case I salute you. Multitasking is admirable.